Chrisean Rock is not a victim. Let me say it louder so the back of the room can hear me. Chrisean Rock is not a victim. Chrisean Rock is not confused. And Chrisean Rock is not healing. Chrisean Rock is the arsonist standing in the ashes of a pregnant woman's house, pretending she smelled smoke. And after what just leaked out of Miami this week, after what Blueface said on his own live, after what Chrisean Rock's own DMs revealed, and after what Nivea did with her face while it was all unfolding, I need every single one of you to sit down, put your phone on the table, cancel the group chat for the next 20 minutes, and let me walk you through the most calculated, most humiliating, most self-inflicted meltdown Chrisean Rock has ever put her name on. Because tonight the mask just cracked, and it did not crack from the outside. Chrisean Rock cracked it herself. And she did it with a camera pointed straight at her own face. Now if you have somehow, some way, been living underneath a Wi-Fi rock for the last 7 days, and you missed a single frame of this circus, let me catch you all the way up before I take you into the deep end. Less than a week ago, Chrisean Rock hopped on her live stream in what she was branding as a spiritual reset, a new era, a changed woman tour. Chrisean Rock told the whole timeline that Blueface was demonic. Chrisean Rock said Blueface was exploiting Nivea for clicks. Chrisean Rock said Blueface was using a pregnant woman as content. Chrisean Rock even prayed on the live, on camera, with her hands folded like she had just walked out of a revival. Chrisean Rock said, and I am quoting her energy exactly, that she did not want to be the reason another home was broken, and that she had cut Blueface off completely because his sweet messages were dragging her back into a life she had already outgrown. The girls were clapping. The comment section was crying. Chrisean Rock had them fooled. Chrisean Rock had me half fooled. And then the tape dropped. Because 48 hours after Chrisean Rock preached that entire sermon, somebody with a phone and a grudge posted a clip from Miami. Chrisean Rock and Blueface, wrapped up, kissing, cuddled up on each other in a hotel lobby like Nivea is not at home, 9 months deep, waddling from the couch to the bathroom, trying to figure out if that last squeeze was a contraction or a kick. The tape is real, y'all. The lighting is bad. The angle is worse. But the two people in the frame are unmistakable. And Chrisean Rock knew the second that clip hit the internet that her whole redemption arc was on fire. So what did Chrisean Rock do? Chrisean Rock did the thing every hypocrite does when the receipts land. Chrisean Rock went silent. And silence, from a woman who lives on live 22 hours a day, is not neutrality. Silence, from Chrisean Rock, is a full confession dressed up as a technical difficulty. Now here is the part I want you to sit with. The floor keeps falling on this story. Because it is not just that Chrisean Rock lied. Chrisean Rock built an entire performance of morality on top of the exact behavior she was already doing behind the scenes. Chrisean Rock stood on live and called Blueface demonic while sliding into his DMs calling him Papa and Dada. Chrisean Rock told Nivea's audience she would never create another broken home while flying to Miami to break the one Nivea was already trying to hold together with tape, prayer, and a 5th cup of coffee. Chrisean Rock told the girls she was in her healing era, while booking flights to be under a man who was actively insulting her son on his live streams. Explain the math to me, please. Because from where I am sitting, Chrisean Rock did not stumble into hypocrisy. Chrisean Rock architected it, packaged it, monetized the sympathy off it, sold the changed woman t-shirt, and then hopped on a plane the same week to prove every single word of it was a lie. And Blueface, bless his shameless, unbothered, 110% himself heart, could not wait to spike the ball. The morning after the Miami tape hit, Blueface pulled up on his own live and pretty much dared the whole internet to keep pretending. Blueface said, out of his own mouth, that yes, he has been messing with Chrisean Rock the entire time. Yes, he knows Chrisean Rock said all that righteous nonsense on her live. And yes, he plans to keep messing with Chrisean Rock because, and this is the part that should stop your scroll, Blueface said Chrisean Rock is not going anywhere. Blueface said Nivea is not going anywhere. Blueface said none of these birds are going anywhere because they have nowhere to go. Blueface said out loud what every man in that exact position quietly banks on, which is that the women around him have made him the whole ecosystem, and Blueface is not afraid to weaponize that math on a Tuesday afternoon in front of 11,000 people. Now let me be very clear before the comment section drags me. What Blueface said was disgusting. It was cruel. It was manipulative. And it was accurate. Because Chrisean Rock proved him right within the same news cycle. Nivea proved him right by staying in the room. And the loop closed itself. I need you to picture what happened next. Because it is one of the most surreal scenes I have watched in a full year of covering these two. Blueface, still on his live, calls Nivea into the room. Nivea, pregnant, exhausted, hair pulled back, still doing the 24-hour stream grind to keep his numbers up because that is her contribution to the household, walks in with a plate in her hand. And Blueface tells her, to her face, on camera, in front of the entire chat, that he has been cheating on her with Chrisean Rock. He does not soften it. He does not lie. He does not ease into it. Blueface just says it. And Nivea, this is the part that broke my brain and rewired it. Nivea looks at Blueface and asks him why he is even apologizing. Sis, ma'am, baby, why are you interviewing a cheater about the ethics of his cheating while you are heavily pregnant with his child? Blueface tells Nivea he cheated. Nivea asks Blueface why he is sorry. Blueface tells Nivea he is sorry for cheating. Nivea tells Blueface there is no reason to apologize if he meant to do it. And then Nivea, and I need you to really hear this, Nivea just moves on. No screaming. No throwing. No slamming doors. No thrown Bible pillows. No cut-up hoodies. Nivea just accepts the information like Blueface handed her a grocery receipt for a jug of milk. And I know some of you watched that clip and said Nivea is broken. I watched that clip and said Nivea is calculating. And by the end of this video, you are going to agree with me. And if you do not agree with me by the end, drop it in the comments and I will fight you fair. Because while everyone was watching Chrisean Rock, Nivea was watching everyone. Nivea was watching Blueface. Nivea was watching the chat. Nivea was watching Chrisean Rock's live streams from a private tab nobody knew she had opened. And Chrisean Rock, of all the women on this planet, should have known better than to put Nivea in this exact position. Chrisean Rock knows what it feels like to be pregnant and humiliated. Chrisean Rock knows what it feels like to be on a live watching Blueface deny your child while another woman sits comfortably beside him. Chrisean Rock knows what it feels like to sit in a hospital bed hooked up to monitors while the father of your baby is publicly courting somebody else across town. Chrisean Rock has been the Nivea in this exact configuration before. And instead of remembering that pain, instead of channeling that memory into empathy, instead of picking up the phone and warning Nivea woman to woman off the record, Chrisean Rock chose to reenact her own humiliation on top of another woman's stomach. That is not confusion. That is not addiction. That is a choice. Chrisean Rock made a choice. And nobody in this timeline is going to let Chrisean Rock quietly rewrite the receipts on that choice. The part nobody's saying loud is this. Chrisean Rock is not doing this because she loves Blueface. Chrisean Rock is not doing this because she is spiritually lost. Chrisean Rock is not doing this because Blueface has some mystical hold on her. Chrisean Rock is doing this because Chrisean Rock is competing. Chrisean Rock is competing with a woman she cannot beat on the terms she wants to fight on. And here is a fact that has been sitting on top of this whole story like a headline nobody wanted to touch. Blueface has never claimed Chrisean Jr. Blueface has never publicly called Jr. his son. Blueface has run entire live streams pretending Jr. does not exist. Blueface has taken paternity tests, seen the results, been told by the courts, and still logged onto his platform to call Jr. that little boy. Like Chrisean Rock accidentally left an Amazon package at his door. But Blueface will pick up Nivea's son from another relationship, put that little boy on his shoulders, take that little boy to dinner, buy that little boy shoes, and post that little boy on his story like it is Father's Day every single weekend. Nivea's son, not Blueface's biological child. Nivea's son, a boy who has an entirely separate father somewhere in another zip code. And Chrisean Rock has watched this happen every single week from her apartment in Los Angeles, while Jr. is somewhere with her friends, because Chrisean Rock is out here chasing content in California instead of chasing a bedtime story back home. Do you understand what that does to a woman? Do you understand what it does to a mother to watch the man who denies her baby playing daddy to somebody else's baby every weekend on video? That is not jealousy. That is not pettiness. That is a fracture. And Chrisean Rock has been walking around with that fracture for months, and everybody in the community has been able to see it in her eyes on every live she has done since March. Chrisean Rock has been smiling with a broken jaw and asking us to compliment the teeth. And that is the part where I have to be honest with you, because I have always tried to be fair with Chrisean Rock even when she made it difficult. Chrisean Rock's pain about Jr. is real. Chrisean Rock's frustration about Blueface public parenting is legitimate. Chrisean Rock's rage at watching Nina's son get treatment her son deserved is understandable in a way that would make anybody with a heart pause. But understandable is not the same as excusable. And Chrisean Rock has confused those two words for months. So when Chrisean Rock finally cracked open on her own live and started going in about Blueface treating Nivea's son better than Jr., at first the internet nodded. At first even I nodded. Chrisean Rock had a point. Chrisean Rock's frustration was legitimate. Chrisean Rock was speaking on something real, something that any mother in her shoes would feel, something that Blueface has actively been rubbing in her face for content. But then Chrisean Rock did the thing that made every single one of us tap out. Chrisean Rock, on a public live, in front of thousands of viewers, floated a wild, unconfirmed, dangerous allegation about Blueface and Nivea's son. Now I am not going to repeat the specifics because there is no proof, there is no confirmation, there is no receipt, and there is a child at the center of it who did not consent to being anybody's chess piece. But Chrisean Rock said it. Chrisean Rock said it loud. Chrisean Rock said it strategically. Because Chrisean Rock knew that if she said it, Blueface would have to stop being around Nivea's son. Chrisean Rock weaponized a child to win a domestic argument. Chrisean Rock used the worst allegation you can attach to a man against the son of a woman who has done nothing to her. And that is the moment I stopped feeling anything for Chrisean Rock. That is the moment the community stopped feeling anything for Chrisean Rock. Because there is a line. There is a bright, blinking, red tape, do not cross line. And Chrisean Rock did not just cross the line. Chrisean Rock jumped over it while filming it for engagement and asking her mods to clip it. Because Chrisean Rock is not stupid. Chrisean Rock knew what she was doing. Chrisean Rock knew the algorithm would run with it. Chrisean Rock knew the aggregators would post it. Chrisean Rock knew every gossip channel from here to Atlanta would pick it up before midnight. And Chrisean Rock did it anyway. That is not desperation. That is intent. And intent is what separates a mistake from a strategy. And Blueface, say what you want about Blueface, and there is a lot to say. Blueface clocked it immediately. Blueface got on his platform, opened his phone, and posted a full screenshot of Chrisean Rock's DMs from the same week. Chrisean Rock in Blueface inbox. Chrisean Rock calling Blueface Papa. Chrisean Rock calling Blueface Dada. Chrisean Rock telling Blueface she wanted to pull up on him. Chrisean Rock asking Blueface when she could see him. Chrisean Rock doing every single thing she publicly told the internet Nivea should stop doing to keep her dignity. Blueface captioned the screenshot with one of the most devastating lines I have heard him deliver in a full year of chaos. Blueface said Chrisean Rock wants to be a part of the circus so bad, but wants to act bigger than the program. Read that sentence twice. Chrisean Rock wants to be a part of the circus so bad, but wants to act bigger than the program. That is not a diss. That is a diagnosis. Because Chrisean Rock has spent the last 2 years trying to convince the world she is above the mess she built her fame on, and Blueface just proved on a Sunday afternoon, with one screenshot, that Chrisean Rock is still the ringmaster in the tent she claimed to have burned down. And keep in mind, while all of this is happening, Chrisean Rock is in California by herself. Junior is not with her. Chrisean Rock is chasing rooms, chasing rappers who used to be somebody's, chasing anybody who will keep her name in a headline for one more news cycle. Chrisean Rock is out here trying to prove she is a star while her son is somewhere with a friend of a friend who probably did not sign up to be a full-time babysitter. Meanwhile, Nivea, the woman Chrisean Rock is publicly pretending to defend, is at home, pregnant, cooking, cleaning, streaming for a man who just told her on camera that he cheated, answering the door for DoorDash while carrying a 9-month belly. Take one full second and compare those two women. Take one clean second and ask yourself, honestly, which one of them is actually walking the walk they are preaching. Because Chrisean Rock has been running a public relations campaign for a version of herself that does not exist, and Nivea has been quietly winning a war Chrisean Rock did not even realize she was fighting. Now let me hand you the piece that made this whole story lock into place for me. Because everybody has been asking why Nivea is not going off. Everybody has been asking why Nivea is not throwing things. Everybody has been asking why Nivea took Blueface cheating confession like a woman being told her Amazon package is delayed. And the answer is not that Nivea is dumb. The answer is not that Nivea is broken. The answer is not that Nivea has low self-esteem. The answer is that Nivea already knew. Nivea knew back in March. Nivea knew when she caught Blueface sneaking protection into his jacket pocket, right before heading out for the night. Nivea watched Blueface do it. Nivea watched Blueface leave. Nivea watched Blueface come back. Nivea filed it. Nivea saved it. Nivea did not confront it. Nivea did not scream. Nivea just archived it. And Nivea has been playing possum ever since. Because a woman who is truly in love with a man reacts. A woman who is done with a man collects. And Nivea has been collecting on Blueface since the spring. So when Chrisean Rock finally handed Nivea the biggest receipt of the year on a silver Miami platter, Nivea did not gasp. Nivea did not cry. Nivea just watched. Because Nivea has been waiting for this exact configuration to fall into place for months. Nivea needed Chrisean Rock in that Miami frame. And Chrisean Rock walked right into it with luggage in her hand. And this is the part where I need to be so honest with you about Nivea. Because Nivea has been painted, for the last 8 months of this saga, as the sweet, dumb, pregnant girlfriend who does not know what year it is. Nivea is not that woman. And then Nivea is going to do exactly what Chrisean Rock never had the discipline to do. Nivea is going to leave with the whole plan, the whole receipt file, the whole USB drive, and quite possibly the house. And when that day comes, the same internet that has been calling Nivea a doormat is going to call Nivea the smartest woman in this entire chapter. Mark this moment. Bookmark this video. Screenshot this timestamp. Because Nivea is not losing. Nivea is loading. And Nivea is aiming. And Chrisean Rock. Chrisean Rock is not going to see it coming. Chrisean Rock is too busy trying to win a man who has already told the world he is not choosing anybody. Chrisean Rock keeps kicking the door of a house that is on fire, hoping the man inside will finally say her name loud through the smoke. He is not going to. Blueface has told you exactly who he is at least 100 separate times, and Chrisean Rock keeps buying the same receipt in a different color and telling herself the total will change. Blueface said he cheated. Blueface said he does not regret it. Blueface said he does not have to claim Junior. Blueface said Nivea is not going anywhere and Chrisean Rock is not going anywhere, and everybody in the room is going to keep dancing to the same song because he has convinced himself that these women have nowhere to go. And Chrisean Rock, instead of proving Blueface wrong, keeps proving Blueface right. Every flight to Miami, every DM to his inbox, every live stream where Chrisean Rock says, "I am done," and then shows up in his story 48 hours later. Chrisean Rock is not fighting Nivea. Chrisean Rock is auditioning for Blueface. And Blueface has already told her the role is not open. And I want to be so careful here, because I have watched Chrisean Rock long enough to know that Chrisean Rock is not just a villain in a headline. Chrisean Rock is a woman with real trauma, real mental health struggles, and a real relationship with the same man who has been publicly humiliating her since 2022. I get that. I hear that. I have compassion for that. And I have been saying that on this channel for years. But compassion does not cancel accountability. Compassion does not cancel the fact that Chrisean Rock knows better. Chrisean Rock can be a woman in pain and a woman doing damage to another woman at the same time. Chrisean Rock can be the wronged baby mother and the active side piece at the same time. Chrisean Rock can be sympathetic in the abstract and reckless in the receipts. And what Chrisean Rock did to Nivea this week is reckless. Because Nivea is not the one who denied Junior. Nivea is not the one who cheated on Chrisean Rock. Nivea is not the person Chrisean Rock should be aiming at. Nivea is a pregnant woman Chrisean Rock chose to step on because she could not reach the person who actually hurt her. And that is the sentence I want you to sit with. Chrisean Rock aimed at Nivea because Chrisean Rock cannot beat Blueface. Read it again. Chrisean Rock aimed at Nivea because Chrisean Rock cannot beat Blueface. That is the whole entire story in 14 words. Let me pull back and give you the wider picture, because this story is not just about 3 people in one Los Angeles house. This story is about a pattern. Blueface has built an entire business model on rotating pregnant women through his content pipeline. Blueface did it to Jaden Alexis long before we knew what Blueface was. Blueface did it to Chrisean Rock during her pregnancy with Junior. Blueface is doing it right now to Nivea. And I promise you, on my Annie's Bible, Blueface is already lining up the next one. Because Blueface has figured out something horrifying about the internet, which is that outrage is the same as attention, and attention is the same as revenue. And revenue does not care whether a woman on his couch is being humiliated or celebrated. Blueface is running the same script every 18 months with a new leading lady. And instead of the women teaming up to burn the script, they keep auditioning for the lead role. That is the tragedy inside this comedy. Chrisean Rock and Nivea should be allies. Chrisean Rock and Nivea should be sitting on a couch together on a joint live dragging Blueface for 2 full hours with a whiteboard and a marker. Chrisean Rock and Nivea should be co-executive producing the exit strategy. Instead, Chrisean Rock is flying to Miami to sabotage the very solidarity that could free both of them. And Blueface is at home watching the numbers climb and the sponsorships roll in. And do not even get me started on Carlisa. Because Carlisa, Blueface's mother, has been floating in and out of this saga like a ghost with a grudge and a group chat. Carlisa has spent years publicly beefing with Chrisean Rock, calling Chrisean Rock every name you can think of on every platform she could get logged into. And yet Carlisa has been suspiciously quiet about Chrisean Rock re-entering Blueface rotation this month. Ask yourself why. Ask yourself who benefits from Chrisean Rock being back in the picture. Ask yourself who has been comparing Nivea to Jaden Alexis on the low. Because if you look at the pieces on this chessboard, Carlisa never wanted Nivea in that house in the first place. And Carlisa is not going to complain if Chrisean Rock is the reason Nivea walks out. Nivea has picked up on that too. Nivea sees it. Nivea has been polite about it, but Nivea sees it. And that is another reason Nivea is not reacting the way the internet wants her to. Because Nivea knows that if she throws a tantrum, Carlisa gets exactly what Carlisa wanted. And Nivea does not lose games. Nivea studies them. Nivea plays them. And Nivea wins them the way real strategists win. which is by making the loudest people in the room think they are winning right up until the moment the check clears in her account. And there is another player on this board that nobody is talking about, and that is Jaden Alexis. Because Jaden Alexis has been sitting on the sideline of this Chrisean Rock resurgence with a bag of popcorn and a smirk that has been growing every single week. Jaden Alexis has 2 children by Blueface. Jaden Alexis has always been publicly claimed by Blueface. Jaden Alexis has been the one constant in a rotation of women Blueface treats, like weekly features. And Jaden Alexis watched Chrisean Rock burn her own credibility this week without lifting a single finger. Ask yourself why Jaden Alexis has not tweeted about it. Ask yourself why Jaden Alexis has not posted a story. Ask yourself why Jaden Alexis has not gone on live to add fuel. Because Jaden Alexis learned a lesson 3 years ago that Chrisean Rock is still refusing to learn, which is that the loudest woman in Blueface orbit is always the one who ends up with the least. And Jaden Alexis has decided, quietly, that she is going to be the woman with the most in the end. Jaden Alexis is not fighting anyone. Jaden Alexis is just waiting. And when Nivea walks out with the receipt file and Chrisean Rock walks out with nothing, Jaden Alexis is going to be the woman standing next to Blueface on paper, if only because she is the last one still emotionally intact. Now let me rewind for a second, because a few of you are going to be new to this saga, and you need the timeline. Blueface and Chrisean Rock started in 2020. Their relationship became a full television series on the Crazy in Love show, which was less of a show and more of a slow-motion emergency broadcast. Chrisean Rock got pregnant with Chrisean Jr. Blueface publicly denied Chrisean Jr. on livestream after livestream. Chrisean Rock had the baby anyway. Chrisean Rock built her platform on that pain, and I respected it. Meanwhile, Jaden Alexis, Blueface original baby mother, was still hovering in the story with 2 kids Blueface has always openly claimed. Then along came Nivea, who Blueface introduced to the world while Chrisean Rock was still trying to recover from the last cycle. Nivea got pregnant. Nivea moved in. Nivea started streaming 24 hours a day like an unpaid intern trying to make partner at a firm that does not exist. And now here we are, watching Chrisean Rock hop off the sideline and try to reclaim the position she never actually vacated. That is the timeline in 60 seconds. And every single beat in that timeline has Blueface benefiting from the confusion. And let me put a number on the streaming economics for you, because a lot of the audience does not realize the machine Blueface has built on the back of these women. Blueface platform, on a bad week, pulls in more than most 9-to-5 checks. Blueface platform, on a week like this one with Chrisean Rock in Miami and Nivea reacting on camera, is pulling in numbers that would make a full record label executive nervous. Every fight is a paycheck. Every apology is a paycheck. Every denial of Junior is a paycheck. Every kiss with Chrisean Rock caught on somebody's phone is a paycheck. Blueface is not just cheating on Nivea. Blueface is monetizing Nivea's silence and Chrisean Rock's mess in real time, and both of them are working for him for free. Nivea, at least, has figured out she is on the clock. Chrisean Rock is still convinced she is a co-star. Chrisean Rock is not a co-star. Chrisean Rock is a segment, and the segment gets cut when the ratings dip. Now I want to give you the reaction wall, because I do not report these stories in a vacuum. I read the comment sections. I read the group chats. I read the receipts you all send me at 3 in the morning. And the internet is not confused right now. The internet has clarity for the first time in months. One person said, people think Nivea is slow, and she might be a little slow, but this is a woman who is 1000% not in love with Blueface. Nivea is there for every reason except love. Blueface needs to be worried, not comfortable. Another person said, why is anybody shocked? Chrisean Rock has documented mental health struggles. Blueface does not have to claim Junior, because Chrisean Rock barely claims Junior herself, and Chrisean Rock knows Blueface may not be the only possible father. Another person said, Nivea took that cheating confession too well. That is not peace, that is a plan. Another person said, Chrisean Rock has become the exact woman she used to warn other women about on her lives, and the crazy part is Chrisean Rock does not even see it in the mirror. Another person said, the moment Chrisean Rock brought Nivea's son into it, Chrisean Rock lost every ally she had left in the community. Another person said, Blueface talking about these birds got nowhere to go is going to be the epitaph on his career, because one of those birds is a hawk, and he does not know it yet. Another person said, Chrisean Rock is not competing for Blueface. Chrisean Rock is competing for the version of herself that Blueface used to want, and Blueface stopped wanting that version 2 years ago. Another person said, Carlisa is loving every second of this because she never wanted Nivea in that house, and Chrisean Rock is the wrecking ball Carlisa never had the nerve to swing herself. Another person said, Jade and Alexis is the smartest woman in this whole saga, and nobody is talking about it. Jade and Alexis is going to outlast every one of them just by refusing to log on. And I have to agree with all of them. The community is not divided on this one. The community is just waiting to see what Nivea does after the baby arrives. Because whatever it is going to be a headline. And let me speak to the Chrisean Rock fans directly for a second, because I know you are in the comments already typing. I know you have ridden for Chrisean Rock through the crazy in love era, through the pregnancy, through the fights, through the birth, through the reinvention tour, through the rap features, through the music videos, through the Yahweh moment, through the whole thing. And I have ridden with you. I have defended Chrisean Rock on this channel more times than I can count. But loyalty to a person is not loyalty to a lie. And what Chrisean Rock is doing right now is a lie. Chrisean Rock is asking you to believe two contradictory statements simultaneously, that she is done with Blueface and that she is booking flights to Miami to see Blueface. And Chrisean Rock is counting on your love for her to override your ability to do basic math. Do not let Chrisean Rock do that to you. Do not let Chrisean Rock spend your loyalty on her lies. You can love Chrisean Rock and still tell Chrisean Rock the truth. In fact, real love requires it. Real love does not clap for a woman who is drowning. Real love throws a rope, even when the person in the water is swinging at it. So let me bring this in for a landing before the algorithm cuts me off. Chrisean Rock this week did not just get exposed. Chrisean Rock exposed herself. Chrisean Rock built a public morality campaign, flew to Miami, kissed the man she said she was done with, got clipped on somebody else's phone, watched Blueface confirm the affair on his own live, watched Blueface post her DMs calling him Papa and Dada, watched the internet turn on her one live stream at a time, and then still had the audacity to log on the very next day and act like she is the victim in this configuration. Chrisean Rock is not the victim in this configuration. Chrisean Rock is the co-author of the story that is about to bury her. And Nivea, quiet, pregnant, patient, cold-eyed Nivea, is somewhere writing the last chapter of a book Chrisean Rock does not even know is being drafted. The mask just cracked. And when that mask comes all the way off, Chrisean Rock is going to have to look at what has been underneath it for the last 2 years, which is a woman who kept chasing a man who never chose her and stepped on every other woman in her way trying to prove she was still in the running. Chrisean Rock lost the race before the gun even went off. And nobody in this whole entire story is going to be more shocked than Chrisean Rock the day she finally realizes it. And before I let you go, let me leave you with the receipt that Chrisean Rock cannot answer for, because I want you to sit with this one all night. When Blueface asked Chrisean Rock, on his own live, in front of the whole internet, why she was in California without her son while pretending to lecture him about being a good parent, Chrisean Rock had no answer. Not a good one. Not a bad one. Not any answer at all. Chrisean Rock got quiet. And that silence, again, is the loudest thing Chrisean Rock has said all year. Because Chrisean Rock knows Blueface is right about that part. Chrisean Rock knows the Protect Junior narrative falls apart the second you check where Junior actually is on a given Tuesday. Chrisean Rock knows the moral high ground evaporates when you are the one who left him in another zip code to chase content. And Blueface, of all people, is not the man who should be the one delivering that truth to Chrisean Rock. But Blueface delivered it anyway. And Chrisean Rock, in that moment, was not a mother defending her son. Chrisean Rock was a woman caught in her own algorithm. And one more thing before the CTA. Chrisean Rock does not have a Blueface problem. Chrisean Rock has a mirror problem. Chrisean Rock built her whole identity around being the girl who would never fold, never share, never sit in second place. And now Chrisean Rock is quietly folding, actively sharing, and publicly sitting in third. Chrisean Rock is not the woman Chrisean Rock told us she was. And every time Chrisean Rock logs on and tries to sell us that woman anyway, Chrisean Rock is asking us to help her lie to herself. I am tapping out of that project. I love Chrisean Rock. I want Chrisean Rock to win. But I am not going to help Chrisean Rock lie to Chrisean Rock. Not tonight. Now I want to hear from you, because you all always come with the sharpest takes on this channel. Do you think Chrisean Rock genuinely believes she is the good guy in this story? Or do you think Chrisean Rock knows exactly what she is doing and just does not care anymore, because the attention is worth more than the accountability? And be honest with me in the comments section, because I know some of you have been on Chrisean Rock's side for a long time, and this week has been rough. Do not sugarcoat it. Second question, because this is the one that is going to decide the next 6 months of this saga. Do you think Nivea is going to blow Blueface's entire world up after this baby is born? Or do you think Nivea is going to keep playing the long game and quietly walk away with the house, the streams, the followers, and everything else worth taking with her? Because I am on Team Nivea is loading, but the comment section always changes my mind one way or the other, so drop your verdict below. Third question, because I know some of you are going to ask, do you think Carlisa is secretly financing Chrisean Rock's flights to keep Nivea uncomfortable, or do you think that is just a wild conspiracy theory the internet cooked up on a slow Wednesday? Fourth question, and this one is for the Jade and Alexis fans in the back. Do you think Jade and Alexis is going to break her silence in the next 30 days? Or do you think Jade and Alexis is going to keep collecting popcorn until the last woman standing is her? Let me know all four in the comments and I promise you I read them. I read every single one. And while you are at it, tap the next video on the screen right now, because I just dropped a full breakdown of Blueface mother Carlisa and what Carlisa has been quietly saying about Nivea behind closed doors that is about to rearrange this entire timeline all over again.